Pirate101 is a game that was released by KingsIsle Entertainment in 2012. It is a turn-based MMO and a sister game to Wizard101. It is a deep and complex story, and in this series we will summarize it one world at a time. If I miss anything or get anything wrong, please let me know in the comments. Before we get into the story of Pirate101, I want to shout out and give credit to Chupo, who recently made a deep dive into Wizard101's story. His link will be in the description below. Now a couple of things to note before we get into Pirate101's story. This game takes place in the Spiral, a series of worlds that are connected through space. This is talked about more in Wizard101 if you would like to learn. Every world except Krokotopia has skyways, which are similar to oceans, but instead of water, there is just air you sail on, and the land is floating islands. Each world mirrors an area of Earth or some pop culture surrounding those areas. For example, Cool Ranch is supposed to be the Wild West, and includes characters similar to those in Tombstone, El Zorro, and other Western media. You can reach these other worlds through whirlpools called storm gates, where you sail between space to reach the skyways of the next world. With all that out of the way, we'll cover the main story in the first world, Skull Island. Skull Island is the starting world of the game, and is a typical pirate-themed world. Your character starts out locked away in the brig of a ship. Suddenly, you hear cannon fire, and a pirate named Boochbeard and his companion Mr. Gandry show up at your cell. This is when you begin character creation. You create how your character looks, but there are three more important choices. First, you choose how you got locked up. This chooses your class. Second, you choose how you became an orphan. This will be important later. Finally, you pick who raised you. This will give you a passive effect for the rest of the game. After you create your character, you are freed from your cell and free another character who becomes your first crewmate. Who that is depends on the class you selected. You make your way to the deck and see Deacon, an Armada spy master. The Armada are a group of clockwork soldiers. This will be more explained in later worlds. You fight and escape to Skull Island, the actual island, not the world. Here you meet Avery, who is the leader of this pirate republic. This will act as the main hub for the game. All class trainers, except for the Hidden Trainer in Devilfish Hollow, and other important shops are here, such as PvP or Miracle Mitch, who can revive fallen companions. Avery offers us a ship in exchange for getting his Jade Amulet back from Finn, his crewmate who stole it. Finn will be returning, so keep him in mind. We fought our way through Troggies who are attacking Skull Island, and gain a new companion, Bonnie Ann. We continue to the Skull Cave, drain the water filling the halls of the temple inside, and fight Finn. We return the amulet to Avery, and go to collect our ship. We realize that Avery tricked us, and the ship we were promised turns out to be nothing more than a raft. Get used to this because this trope is used very much in this game. This raft is actually so bad that a blind cat tells us that it's the ugliest ship he's ever seen. I bet you're wondering how that is even possible. Well, Blind Mew has superpowers. Just kidding. Kind of. We return to Avery and he averts our attention to treasure, saying he can't help us with our ship. He tells us the story of Captain Gunn, a captain who is famous for typical pirate things, being charming, finding treasure, fighting, but most importantly because he made a drink. In Mushu, Gunn found a tree that produced yum yum fruit, the fruits that you will see floating around the worlds of Pirate101. These fruits heal sickness, wounds, and apparently old age as well. Gunn took these and made all types of food from them. Most importantly, he made a drink. Yum. It made him very rich. Unfortunately for Gunn, the Emperor of Mushu thought of yum yum fruit as sacred, and so one day, Gunn was assassinated by ninja pigs. Someone has found Gunn's will, however, and now there's a crew being put together to search for the treasure. That is where Avery points us. He doesn't want any of the money, just a chalice, wrapped in a sailcloth. Yeah, it's not important. We head to the tavern cellar and find the crew. The person who has the will depend on your class. We have a meeting, and one of the people there, Ratbeard, steals the will and flees. We fight his crew, and the person who had the will joins us. We then chase Ratbeard, and Blind Mew tells us where to go. See what I mean? Superpowers. We jump on our raft and chase them to Blood Shoals, where we find Ratbeard's crew dead. We speak to their ghosts, and they tell us that Ratbeard poisoned them. They ask us to help them with their unfinished business so that they can rest, and they will tell us where Ratbeard went. Long story short, we stop a shark uprising, save a group of dinosaurs, and reunite a couple. After that, we are pointed to Jonahtown, a city built on a giant whale where Ratbeard had business with the Frogfather. We head to Jonahtown, and after helping the pelican fishermen there, we're lowered down into Gullet, a city in the whale's esophagus. Very uncomfortable. We meet the Frogfather, and he says a whole lot about nothing, and ends up asking us to help him. Hopefully now you're seeing a pattern. We help him rob some spices from a Monkeyston fort. In doing so, we met up with someone who said that they were on our parents' crew. Remember the second character creation choice you made? Well, who this character is depends on how you became an orphan. We go back to the Frog Father, and he points us to Flotsam, where we can find One-Eyed Jack and continue the chase for Ratbeard. Before leaving, though, he realizes who we are and gives us a ship that he was holding for our parents. We head to Flotsam and find a One-Eyed Jack rabbit who tells us Jack is gone. We go look for him. Find a horse named Mustang Sally, help her fight off some dogs, and continue. We continue searching, and if you're wondering, yes, the rabbit we spoke to earlier was One-Eyed Jack. Surprising, I know. He apologizes for lying and points us to where Ratbeard was, upholding a favor he owed. We find Ratbeard and a burning piece of paper. Ratbeard gets away before we can get him, but we do get Gun's will and put out the fire on it. It contains a clue for how to find the next clue, which will lead to the treasure. It also contains a shortcut to the treasure. However, Ratbeard burnt that part before we could stop him. How convenient. We follow all of Gun's tests. Along the way, we visit his house, recruit an undead witch doctor named Old Scratch, and learn all types of pirate lessons. We finally get to Gun's hideout, but the treasure is already gone. All that's left is Gun's body and a yum drink distillery. Luckily, our new witch doctor, Old Scratch, revives Gun for a second to tell us what happened. We learn that Ratbeard had water moles dig through the ground to quickly get to the treasure. He tells us that the water moles are going to sacrifice the gold to the volcano, so we race there. We find Ratbeard tied up and the water moles and their leader sacrificing the gold. We defeat them, their leader dives into the volcano, and we free Ratbeard. He apologizes and joins our crew. Sadly, most of the gold is gone, but the chalice and the sailcloth are still fine. We bring them to Avery. Avery wants to turn Skull Island into a true republic, so for this, he needs treaties with other worlds. That's where the chalice comes in. He tasks us to bring the chalice to the Monkeyston governor in Puerto Rico. We meet the major domo, who acts as the governor's secretary. According to him, we aren't dressed well. Now is a good time to point out that Monkeystons are very full of themselves. We end up crafting a jester suit to meet with the governor. No, I'm not joking. It's a literal clown suit. We meet with the governor, and he tells us that the governor we were supposed to meet with was locked away. Keep that in mind. We're also told that our gift was an embarrassment, so we were sent to get a new gift. This gift is the Golden Monkey. Cortez, a Monkeystador who conquered the Isle of Doom and sent monkeys to lots of gold from the jungle, supposedly found a golden monkey in the ancient ruins. However, he turned and became crazy while in the jungle, and stayed there to rule, so we were tasked with bringing him back along with the gold monkey. Long story short, we sail there, save some explorers and Monkeystadors, create a pace to get past the killer bees, and we go into the ancient ruins. We end up finding more of the Armada in the temples in the jungle. We talk to a frog there named Hopper, and he points us towards where Cortez and his soldiers are. They ask us to kill some of the Armada, so we do, and we finally enter Cortez's base. We fight some spiders, 1v1 someone, and we speak to some crystals. The crystals end up letting us speak to our parents, who task us with finding El Dorado, where they are waiting for us. Remember this will be important. We then speak to Cortez, who talks about a revelation he had in the jungle. He said that Titans, no, not that kind, built these temples. He says the jungle beat them, and the only way to escape that same fate is to become one with the jungle. Finally, he reveals that he is the gold monkey. We fight and defeat him, and he asks us to spare his soldiers. We do, and we take him back to Puerto Rico. We find a new governor who says the old one was a traitor and now works in the mines. Yeah, so she won't be here very long either. She tells us that she knows nothing of our deal, but sends us to take Cortez to the royal court in Monkeista City. We then talk to the major domo, who gives us papers to travel to Monkeista. He then tells us to fight Marlebonian ships to get a violet windstone to allow us to travel to Monkeista. That leads us to the next world. We will return to Skull Island later for a smaller storyline, but for now we are done. I hope you enjoyed the video. I did this video mostly by memory of when I played the game, which for the first part wasn't too long ago, but past that it's been a minute, so there could be some mistakes. If you find any, let me know in the comments. But if you enjoy the video, let me know by liking, and if you want more, I'll continue to make these summary videos. The next one will be on Monkeista, and then after that should be Valencia, and we'll go from there. But yeah, have a great day, and God bless you. See ya.